So let's get into a nice relaxed position. So we want to notice that the mainstream culture, which does not want us to be free, doesn't want us to have open, loving hearts. The mainstream culture is always trying to tell you guys that it's weak to be loving, which is kind of horrifying to me. So let's just notice that they're also teaching us to be separate from our bodies. So they're teaching us to exist in our heads and our eyes and our judgment. And that's how the mainstream culture is wanting us to go through life, is just assessing, judging, rejecting, thinking, but we're not actually going down into our bodies. And there's so much wisdom in our bodies that can help us. And a lot of what a healed heart has to do is actually coming down into the body. So right now, if we take a deep breath, everybody knows to take a deep breath is calming, but let's just notice how deep our breath wants to go by itself without forcing. It doesn't really want to go very far, just wants to go maybe to the top of our chest. Just notice that. That's nothing wrong. That's what we've been hypnotized into believing is how we should breathe. And this kind of breath actually causes anxiety. So let's see if the breath wants to go a little deeper if we let it go by itself. For me, when I think about that, I just notice myself taking a catch-up breath from the air that I haven't been taking in. And let's just see if we can expand that down into the pelvis. One thing we start noticing when we study Tantra is that my breath has never actually been down in my pelvis before, unless I've done yoga exercises. And probably my genitals have never been oxygenated. Let's just let some breath come all the way down. This is actually very radical and revolutionary because almost no one out there is breathing in their whole body. If you guys can become whole body breathers, have consciousness in your body, you're already freer than most people. So we'll just let the breath come all the way down to our tailbones, to our genitals, and circle back up and come out. And let's let the awareness come down. Also, that I live in this whole body. Heart healing also has to do with healing the whole body and living as an embodied person. Mainstream, again, wants you to just be a mind with all these opinions. And you notice the mind can go back and forth and hold any kind of a crazy opinion. But you can come down any moment. It's a revolutionary act to bring your consciousness down into your body. Just feel how that feels and go drop your consciousness down in there and take a look around. Take a look around inside your pelvis. Take a look around inside your genitals. This is a beautiful place to make love from. Inside. Inside. Bring your consciousness up to your belly there where Akash was having us breathe into. Bring your consciousness up in there and look around inside. And just be an embodied man inside your own body. And bring in your awareness up to your navel and breathe into it. This area right above the navel, right before you get to the rib cage, that triangle there, it's called the solar plexus. It's your power center. So you have to have your genitals and your belly, your emotional self, your sex engaged in order to be powerful. They are the foundation of your power, being fully sexual, being fully being able to handle your emotions, which men in this culture are not given much help, and then coming up to embody your power center. I realized when I was studying Pick Up with Vince, it's a lot more about power than I thought. As women, we're taught not to be powerful, that men don't like powerful women. And Vince taught me, are you kidding? Men love powerful women. But I think men also are given a very two-dimensional idea of what power means. I like to think of this power center as being the guy who's been studying martial arts for 20 years. He walks into a room. He doesn't have to hit anybody or show off. He's just carrying that 20 years of discipline of being able to beat the crap out of people. He doesn't have to prove it to anybody. You can just feel this is a person of power, or a woman who's done that. This is a person that carries that power with them. They don't have to prove it. Then we come up to the heart center, which in almost everyone you meet is broken. Almost everyone you meet has a broken heart. From some of the things I was talking about before, from their childhoods, from a relationship that's broken their heart, from the pain in the world. It's very helpful to understand that this is a universal experience. You know, we go out, we're trying to meet people, we're trying to pick up, we're trying to find love, sex, and we don't remember everyone I meet has had. It's a universal experience to have had pain in your heart, have your heart broken. At some point, it gets everyone. Everyone loses someone they love. Everyone starts losing their own life. It's a universal experience to have this pain around the heart. Just let yourself in this moment. You can close it back up anytime you want. But just let yourself in this moment, just a little bit, feel the state of your own heart. Is it still broken? Are you in a period where it's not so bad? Do you have residue from the past that hasn't been completely healed? And feel, most of us, there's a wall around our heart. We don't want to get hurt again. I'll only let you in so far. I don't want to go there again. I'm just going to play and have sex, and I don't really want to fall in love. Just assess the condition of your own heart at this moment. It changes. Just see where it is right now. Just feel that. And go inside your own heart and look around. See that it's healthy. Even if it's broken, it's still pumping away, doing its job, circulating. And be inside your own heart, in the nest of it for this moment. Because as you go through life, you're going to be blossoming more and more as a loving person. What else are we here for but to learn love? Just feel that potential for infinite expansion in your heart. Then we move up in the chakra system, we move up to the throat, which is called the throat chakra, which is right speaking, truthful speaking. And just feel how in almost everyone, this is the cutoff point in this culture, because so many things we've wanted to say in our life have gotten stuck here because they weren't the right things to say according to someone else, according to our boss, according to our parents, according to our partner, according to our friends, according to this cool group I'm trying to hang out with, and I want to be cool enough, so I'm not going to say that. Just notice all the words that have been stuck in your throat. Sometime you wanted to say, I love you, and it wasn't politically the right time. Maybe it would make you seem weak. Look at all that, those words that have been stuck and haven't gotten through that throat barrier. Sometimes we develop throat issues. Sometimes we get a stiff neck. You've heard this, people get a stiff neck. It's from all those words that haven't been able to come through. Or every time we haven't told the truth. Of course, we all tell little white lies, that's called social life. But deep truths about our being and our integrity get stuck here. So be inside your throat. And if you're like most people, there's a backlog there of all kinds of stuff. One meditation that Osho gave us Osho was a great Tantra master in India. If you haven't encountered him, you might want to. Osho gave us a meditation where every morning we would just for 15 minutes scream out anything that was stuck in our throat. Profanities, fuck you, whatever, I hate you, just whatever was stuck in there, just to try to do a clearing out of all of that unspoken communication. And we can come up to our third eye and we can come up to our seventh chakra, but right now we're just going to pretty much be focusing on the lower and the heart. So let's go back down, since the topic today is the heart, and let's just put our hands around our heart, something like this. And just feel the warmth of your hands shielding your heart there. You are able to protect your heart at the same time as keeping it open. So something that I thought of when I was a beginning therapist was, I can't have my heart open to, I want to have my heart open to everyone, but some people are going to be sending daggers and swords at my heart and trying to hurt me. And I don't want to be a person who walks through life with a closed heart, but I also don't want to be foolish and just be open to anyone who would wish me harm. So I came up with this image for myself, which I've had ever since, of a Native American shield in front of my heart. That way I can keep my heart open, but I can also have a shield where love can go behind it and around it, but the shield is there in case I'm in the presence of someone who's not wishing me well. So this is a good idea when you go to places, if you go out to a bar, if you go out to go to see where there's a lot of people, go to a concert, you just keep your heart protected, but open, because we don't want to walk around without open hearts, not being loving beings. The world doesn't need more unloving beings right now. It needs us to be able, as best as we can, to heal our hearts so that we can create a world full of love. So once again, feel yourself in your whole body. Feel yourself a breathing being. Feel what that's like to be a fully embodied human. And see if you can bring that back while we talk a little more. And I'm going to remind you a couple times, are you in your body? Because we are so hypnotized to not be embodied beings. And the mainstream culture has a vested interest in us not being in our bodies because they can control us better that way. They can make us buy stuff and do what they say. And if you're a fully sexual, fully embodied person, you cannot be controlled. And so that's why they don't want you to be that way. But right here in our little secret society here, we're helping each other become free of all that.